In the grand tapestry of human thought, Aristotle stands as a colossal figure, a philosopher whose monumental contributions continue to shape our perception and understanding of the world even today. A vanguard of the intellectual sphere, he was a thinker whose profound influence transcends time, reverberating through the ages and resonating in the multifaceted realms of ethics, metaphysics, and logic. From the earliest foundations of philosophy, where discussions were carried out in the agora of ancient Greece, to the contemporary world where his teachings form the backbone of many intellectual disciplines today, Aristotle's indomitable spirit of inquiry and his relentless pursuit of truth continue to inspire scholars worldwide. Aristotle, a man of versatile genius, was born in the heart of Stagira, a flourishing Greek colony in Macedonia, in 384 BC. His birthplace, a vibrant city teeming with ideas and intellectual discourse, was the very seedbed for his burgeoning curiosity and insatiable thirst for knowledge. From an early age, Aristotle showed a proclivity for keen observation and critical thinking. He had a fervor for understanding the world around him, a trait that would later become the of his philosophical endeavors. His mind was a fertile ground for ideas, and he let them germinate and grow, taking shape in the form of his profound philosophical contributions. It was at the ripe age of 17, a turning point in his life, that Aristotle embarked on a journey of intellectual exploration to Athens. Athens, the city that held the very cradle of intellectual discourse, was the epicenter of wisdom and knowledge, a city that celebrated the human mind and its ceaseless quest for truth. This city was to Aristotle what Florence was to Leonardo da Vinci, a sanctuary of thought and a breeding ground for ideas. Stepping into Athens, Aristotle found himself in the midst of a vibrant intellectual milieu. He was to study at the revered Academy, a prestigious institution that was a beacon of enlightenment under the watchful and nurturing eyes of Plato, the great philosopher himself. The Academy was more than just an institution. It was a realm where thoughts were shaped, philosophies were born, and futures were carved. This journey to Athens was a path that would eventually lead Aristotle to the zenith of intellectual greatness, a path that would see him evolve from an eager student to a revered master. At the ripe age of 17, he embarked upon a journey to Athens, the very cradle of intellectual discourse, to study at the Academy under the watchful eyes of Plato. Under the mentorship of Plato, Aristotle delved deep into the world of ideas, drinking in the teachings of forms and dialectics. He was a sponge, soaking up the wisdom that flowed from his mentor, Plato. This was a world where the abstract and the concrete danced together, where the underlying principles of the cosmos were explored and questioned. Aristotle was deeply influenced by the Platonic perspective, which valued the world of ideas over the physical reality. Yet, as he immersed himself in this intellectual fervor, he began to see things through a different lens. There was a unique spark of individuality that started to glow in Aristotle. He was not a mere disciple who would blindly follow the path laid out by his mentor. He started to challenge the prevalent views, and in doing so, he began to shape his own philosophical perspective. Aristotle realized that while the world of ideas and forms was fascinating, it was equally important to explore the tangible, empirical world around us. Thus, he chose to deviate from the path of his mentor, advocating a more empirical approach to philosophy. This created a shift in the philosophical landscape of the era. The abstract ideas of Plato were complemented the concrete, empirical explorations of Aristotle. He dared to ask questions about the physical world, about its workings and its connection with the metaphysical. It was during this time that Aristotle started to venture into uncharted territories. Unrestrained by disciplinary boundaries, Aristotle ventured into the realms of biology, zoology, physics, and metaphysics, laying solid foundations for future explorations in these fields. His inquisitiveness and his ability to think beyond established norms marked a significant turning point in intellectual history. He challenged the status quo, encouraging others to do the same. His contributions to various fields of study continue to impact modern science and philosophy, proving that his legacy is one of enduring importance. Central to Aristotle's philosophical explorations was his theory of the four causes: the material, formal, efficient, and final causes. This Greek philosopher's concepts continue to inspire and influence our understanding of the world today. Aristotle, a student of Plato and tutor to Alexander the Great, devoted much of his life in pursuit of knowledge and the explanation of life's bigger mysteries. His theories, particularly the four causes, were profound contributions in the field of metaphysics. The four causes comprised of the material cause, the substance from which all things arise; the formal cause, the design or form that these things follow; the efficient cause, the force or energy that brings about these forms; and the final cause, the ultimate purpose or end for which these things exist. This detailed explanation of the why behind every existence is what separated Aristotle's approach from others. These, according to him, were the building blocks that explained the essence and purpose of all things in the universe. Within the hallowed halls of the Lyceum, Aristotle's prowess as a teacher and thinker came to full bloom. This was an environment where Aristotle, a man of extraordinary intellectual depth, found his true calling. The Lyceum was not just a school, but a place where ideas were born and nurtured, where knowledge was cherished, and where wisdom was the true currency. Day by day, Aristotle walked through these corridors of knowledge, absorbing the rich tradition of thought and adding to it with his own insights. His students, eager for knowledge, hung his every word, their minds alight with the sparks of understanding he ignited. Aristotle's teachings were not limited to one specific field. He was a polymath, a master of many disciplines, revealing the interconnectedness of all things. His lectures spanned an impressive range of topics, from the intricacies of politics and ethics, where he introduced groundbreaking concepts of democracy and justice, to the subtle nuances of metaphysics and rhetoric, where he unraveled the mysteries of existence and reality, pushing the boundaries of human understanding. Aristotle's influence was not confined to the walls of the Lyceum. It resonated throughout the ancient world and continues to echo in the modern world, shaping our thought processes and perceptions today. Aristotle's philosophy of ethics revolved around the concept of eudaimonia, or flourishing. It was this ethos that formed the bedrock of his philosophical endeavors, postulating a life of excellence and fulfillment as the ultimate human goal. He espoused a profound belief in the potential of humans to attain a state of moral and intellectual perfection, which he believed could be achieved through the rigorous cultivation of virtues and the exercise of reason. Aristotle's ethical philosophy was unique in its approach, breaking away from the prevalent notions of the time. He believed that virtues were not just abstract ideas, but should be intertwined into the fiber of daily existence. According to him, a virtuous life was not a matter of simply adhering to a set of moral codes or principles, but intimately related to one's happiness and well-being. Eudaimonia was not merely a state of being for Aristotle, but rather a journey. It required a deep understanding of oneself, the courage to confront one's shortcomings, and the commitment to regular self-improvement. It was a lifelong endeavor, a path requiring constant introspection and growth. Aristotle proposed an exhaustive list of virtues, each carrying its own significance in the grand scheme of human excellence. These virtues, he believed, were fundamental to the attainment of eudaimonia. Among these, he emphasized courage, temperance, and justice as being paramount. Courage, for Aristotle, was not just physical bravery, but the moral courage to stand by one's principles. Temperance was the ability to exercise restraint and maintain balance in life, while justice represented fairness and equity. His emphasis on virtue was not merely academic. Aristotle firmly believed that virtues were the blocks of a fulfilling life, and that practicing them consistently could lead to the attainment of eudaimonia. It was in this idea of virtue as a lived practice that he found the cornerstone of his ethical philosophy. Virtue, in Aristotle's philosophical framework, was not a mere abstract concept. It was a practical guide to living a fulfilling life. He identified virtues such as courage, temperance, and justice as integral to human excellence. Striking a balance between extremes was a key aspect of Aristotle's ethical philosophy. Aristotle, widely recognized as one of the most influential philosophers in history, had an extraordinary perspective on ethics and morals. He believed that every virtue of life lies in the middle of two vices, an idea also known as the doctrine of the mean. This theory broke new ground, challenging the conventional notions of virtue during his time. His profound ideology of the golden mean proposed that virtue was not found in the extremities, but in moderation. It was a novel concept, suggesting that steering clear of the excess and deficiency was the path to a virtuous life. These principles guided people to strike a balance in life, ensuring they neither indulged in excess nor suffered through deficiency. In essence, his theory of the golden mean proposed that virtue was found in moderation, in steering clear of excess and deficiency. The ripples of Aristotle's ethical philosophy have traveled far beyond the boundaries of ancient Greece, inspiring a diverse range of thinkers from medieval scholars to Renaissance humanists to modern moral philosophers. Aristotle's philosophical theories, his understanding of ethics and virtue, have indeed become a beacon for later generations to follow. From his conception of the golden mean to his pioneering work in the realm of logic and metaphysics, Aristotle's philosophical explorations have left enduring marks on the landscape of intellectual thought. His ideas were instrumental in the evolution of moral philosophy, influencing scholars from the different epochs of history. His theories were studied, interpreted, and often revered by medieval scholars who found his ideas to be profound and insightful. During the Renaissance, humanists were profoundly influenced by Aristotle's philosophy, often seeing it as a bridge between secular and religious thinking. His concept of virtue ethics was seen as a groundbreaking approach to understanding the essence of morality and human nature. In more recent times, Aristotle's philosophy has continued to inspire and shape the thinking of modern moral philosophers. His ideas continue to spark debates among scholars about the nature of morality, the importance of virtue, and the role of reason in our lives. Even today, Aristotle's influence can be seen in the fields of philosophy, psychology, politics, and more. The legacy of Aristotle is intricately woven into the fabric of Western thought. His contributions to logic, rhetoric, and scientific inquiry have shaped the course of philosophy and academia for centuries. Even today, Aristotle's wisdom continues to reverberate in the hearts and minds of people from all walks of life. The ancient philosopher's teachings, steeped in a wealth of knowledge and deep insight, have transcended time and remain relevant to this day. Born in 384 BC, Aristotle was a pupil of Plato and later tutored the great Alexander the Great. His comprehensive philosophical theories encompassed a wide range of subjects including ethics, politics, metaphysics, and logic. Aristotle strongly believed in the power of reason and logic. He encouraged individuals to use these tools to seek truth and understanding in the world around them. He maintained that achieving excellence was not merely about performing a single virtuous act, but rather it was a habit that needed to be cultivated over time. This process, he argued, was the key to fulfilling one's potential and leading a virtuous life. Moreover, Aristotle's emphasis on the pursuit of excellence is not about achieving perfection, but about continual growth and improvement. He proposed that it is through the relentless striving for betterment that we can truly achieve personal and collective greatness. And it's not just about personal achievement, but also about contributing to the betterment of society as a whole. His lessons, profound in their simplicity, have shaped countless lives, inspired numerous philosophical movements, and continue to guide individuals and societies in their quest for knowledge and self-improvement. His teachings serve as a lighthouse, illuminating the path for those who dare to strive for excellence, urging them to continuously seek knowledge, foster virtue, and live their best lives. His emphasis on virtue, reason, and the pursuit of excellence serves as a beacon of guidance in an ever-evolving world. As we delve into the depth of Aristotle's legacy, it is fitting to recall his own words, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." Aristotle, the father of Western philosophy, was a man of many talents. He was a scholar, a teacher, and a thinker extraordinaire who single-handedly shaped the contours of intellectual history. His philosophical insights have not only survived but thrived, transcending the barriers of time and space. He believed that wisdom comes from within, and self-introspection is the key to true knowledge. For Aristotle, the pursuit of knowledge was not a mere intellectual exercise, but a moral obligation. He championed the importance of moral understanding and ethical values, advocating that the true essence of life lies in leading a life of virtue and reason. He taught us to introspect, to question, seek answers within ourselves. His teachings on virtue and reason are still relevant today and continue to inspire millions around the globe. Aristotle's concept of leading a virtuous life is not about attaining perfection, but about striving for excellence. The journey towards wisdom, according to Aristotle, involves a constant process of learning, unlearning, and relearning. Aristotle's profound wisdom and timeless teachings form an integral part of our intellectual inheritance. His rich legacy continues to illuminate the path of knowledge, guiding us towards the pursuit of wisdom. He has left us with the mission of leading a life of virtue and reason, with the objective of improving not just ourselves, but the world around us. May we, through self-introspection and moral understanding, strive to lead lives worthy of emulation, guided by the principles of virtue and reason.